What's up, traders? Welcome to the Day Trading Show. My name is Austin Silver. Today, we're talking about the most important tips for traders in 2023. We cover a lot. You're going to enjoy this one. I'm sure of it. So enjoy, make sure you subscribe, and here's today's episode. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So we have a very important episode. We want to talk about what you guys need to be thinking about going into the new year as far as tips for making money, tips for staying consistent. Now, the one thing we definitely want to touch on is a day trading technical analysis like focus with these tips. But I think it's important for me and James to also give you guys some thoughts on the fundamentals and the big picture economic landscape that we're kind of moving through going into 2023. It's going to be a crazy year, but I'm really looking forward to it, especially because like for us, James, I feel like with the Black Shirt Club and with the success that we're seeing there, our P&L this year, it's proving to be a day trader's market. Like investors really got crushed in 2022, you know?
Yeah, I think it hasn't been like COVID, after stocks all dropped off after COVID, it hasn't been a buying market. It's been, anybody could really make money buying and holding in that market. It's been more of a skills-based market this year of snagging and bagging, getting in and out. Definitely, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, so let's go into it. Let's talk about some of these tips. I think one of the first things that has to come to mind is really being aggressive with take profit in your trades, being aggressive with getting out of your trades, which is something you do really well. So why don't you speak on that? Because you've had some trades in the last 2 or 3 weeks where you've cut the losses quick, but you've also taken profits quickly, which some people would say, James, like you should stay in the trades as long as you can. So what do you say? Because you get that all the time. I see the chat.
Yeah. I actually had a trade today. So yesterday I had a nice trade on GBP AUD to the downside. Tom and I both caught that, made 1% on that to start off the week quite strong after ending last week down 0.53. So good start to the week. And then today I was looking to short it off the same price level as yesterday, but we did have quite erratic movement after, that the nuclear Poland and all that with Russia. But I was looking to short it again today, and similar entry, 5-minute shift candle to the downside. But I just didn't like it. We had a one strong bar and then a pin hammer to the downside, and it looked like it could reverse back up. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull the trade here at like one exit. I pulled half at 0.3R, and then the rest I pulled basically at break even. And I was like, you know what? I'd rather be out. When in doubt, get out. So I think it's just being able to adapt quickly to what you're seeing. What is the chart telling you? It's giving me feedback. I can always get back in the trade. But I'd rather be out the trade. Wishing I was in than in the trade wishing I was out. So yeah,
that's a really interesting perspective, because when you go at it with the idea of like, I would rather get out when I'm unsure and then know that I need to be in when I am sure, that probably makes managing trades very easy for you. So what makes you comfortable to take losses? Because I think you should speak on that more. A lot of people struggle to take losses. They don't want to close their trades at a loss, but you do it very quickly. So what do you think? Like, why do you think you're good at that?
I think lots of people, first of all, they have expectations, in my opinion, like, especially when doing the challenges and with the funding companies, which I think is like sometimes can make you trade poorly. So you should go into challenges, even if you are taking one, with a mindset of, I just need to trade well. Know my position sizing. I actually tweeted this about today. Position sizing is like, it like amplifies your emotions. For me, position sizing, I relate to sports quite well. But for me, if I have a sweet spot in my position sizing, it allows me to basically pause the game in slow motion and be able to get feedback from the market. What is it telling me? And I can react in a clear, concise manner. But if my position sizing is too high, I'm now all erratic. I'm all over the place. Like I'm flustered. It's like when the defense is you're going to get sacked, right? You got to scramble. You're scrambling all over the place.
It's a good yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So that's just the position sizing. Once you find a sweet spot, you're able to react to what the market's giving you, and as well as I think also with regards to that, people don't want to be wrong, because they think that if you're wrong, you're not going to make that 5% a month target that you have for yourself every single month, because you're now taking a loss and it's setting you back. No, it's part of the maths. Let the maths play out.
Yeah, because even if you try to avoid losses, you end up more often, I think, missing winning trades too, especially if you have a good strategy. If you're trying to pick and choose the winners and the losers, you end up leaving a lot of money on the table, which is the case that I feel like I have struggled with sometimes in the past. So another really good tip, like to avoid leaving money on the table, I think is like a process that I try to explain, like build enough confidence in the system that you're trading, whatever that is, to then feel comfortable taking all the signals. I'm in a trade right now. I'm comfortable to take the signals when they match with good structure. I trust, like you said, the math will play out in my favor. So I feel like something I'm focused on next year is trying to continue to find really good trend and then wait for really good entries. And even if that means being patient and being picky, that's kind of the direction that I think a lot of people will end up finding more success with. But you want to make sure you walk the line, which is very fine, of being too picky, right? And not trading versus being picky enough to then avoid the stupid losses. You know, that's something that's tricky. It's tricky.
But I think that you do that well, because what I was actually looking at your daily report card. So for the viewers or people listening, traders listening, we got this thing in our Black Shirt Club. It's called the TRP, Traders Improvement Program. And Tom has created this daily report card where after each day, we come back and review our day on the desk, because I think it's so important. So it's basically like a journal. Yeah. And I was looking at your trade tracker. It was last night with one of our Black Shirt Club members, Chris, who's also from South Africa. And I was going through your trades on the A2, because Chris trades like a variation of the A2, like D2 into A2, which is 2 of our entry signals here at ASFX. And you got an 80%, 86% win rate on the A2 system. So but you've taken a lot of trades. I think there's over 40, I think there was 39 trades there in the last 4 months or so. Correct. And you had like 32 winners out of 39, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. But it was a high 80% win rate. So, but you've been taking trades. It's not like you've taken 8 trades in the last 4 months. You're still taking a bunch of trades.
Yeah, I think I'm up to, if you count all of my trades, because I trade the A2 the most, but I still trade the other signals since July, and it's now November. So really say
5 months, call it.
Yeah, 5 months, right? I have, I think 57 or 56 total trades. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but still over 5 months, about 60 trades. I'm trading about 1 a day or 1 every other day when it breaks down. But then there's some days where I have 3 trades, and then there's a day like today where I have to wait all day to get the 1 trade. You know what I'm saying? And then there's days with no trades. I think with next year, like because of, and this is where we can tie in maybe like the recession stuff and the Fed stuff. I think my approach and your approach of, I'm going to find a good signal. I'm going to win that signal at a high rate. I'm looking for 7 or 8 out of 10. I'm going to win. And I'm going to then not try to catch the whole move. I'm going to snag and bag. I'm going to take and win, especially if you're trying to get funded, because you know so many people are going into the new year trying to get funded. I'll tell you guys, I was talking to James about this today, not to sidebar too much, but I am potentially working with a new prop firm that's based in the US that could be really good for some of the guys like us that have been funded and are looking to, like you described it well, get something that's really good for the long term, like safer than anything else. So I'll keep you guys posted here on the podcast. Make sure you're subscribed, because we'll be talking about that if that comes to fruition. But my bigger point there, just, and I want to hear your opinion on the interest rates and stuff, but like as we go into the new year, and if there is more layoffs from these big companies. You saw Amazon and Facebook have had big layoffs recently. If the Fed continues to raise rates and the market continues to go down overall, we get tighter in the US. I think for day traders, that's just going to mean we have to be more aggressive in taking profit, more aggressive in getting out of trades quickly, because markets are not going to trend like they did in 2020. What do you think?
Yeah, so I know personally, I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm not good at. I'm not the biggest fundamentalist. You are. This is where I learn a lot from you in the fundamentals, and other guys like Tyler is also good at this. He runs his own mortgage business. He gives a lot of insight into this. But I know from my personal experience, especially now with the daylight savings, the daylight savings has made the New York Stock Exchange an hour and a half later now. An hour later
now, I think.
So it was 4 in the afternoon. So I'm really only trading London session from 8 a.m. my time to 3 p.m. my time in South African time.
That's a lot of hours anyway, right there, bro.
Yeah, it's still a lot of hours. I mean, I'm on the desk for about 6 hours probably 7 hours a day. So
a lot.
It's still a lot of hours, but I'm looking mainly at currencies now. And I know that when the Fed raises the interest rates, which I have done obviously this year, the dollar index gets stronger, and stocks and indices move lower. So
that is an interesting point. Let's talk about that. That is true recently, but I think in the past, it's not 100% correlated like that.
Sure.
I think another reason the dollar index is up is because that's saying that the dollar is stronger versus the euro, the yen, the pound, all the other currencies, right? Why is the dollar stronger? I think part of the reason, and tell me in the comments if someone is smarter than me and understands more. I think part of it is inflation. Because inflation is high, that's also pushed the dollar index high as well, because inflation is going up everywhere. I think it has something to do with inflation too, not just the Fed raising rates. The Fed is raising rates to try to fight inflation. So it's all tied together in like a weird way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very complicated. It's not
weird.
easy stuff.
And also, I guess the pound and the euro also had that Brexit stuff happening as well.
That was a couple of years ago. Yeah, remember that? That was and that now. I mean, global economists. My British audience is going to hate that I'm saying this, but global economists would tell you that the pound and the UK just isn't a global superpower when it comes to economy. I think personally, from my understanding, where they struggle the most, they have no natural resources to export to make money.
That's true.
That's the biggest thing.
Well, the problem. Yeah. Then you got us. We got amazing natural resources here in South Africa, but we just don't do anything with it.
Right. So it is very interesting. And like, that's why, I mean, for many reasons, why the British tried to colonize the world in the past, because they needed those natural resources that you can only get in certain parts. I think that's why America is so lucky. We're protected by water on both sides. The North and the South are both smaller countries and friends of ours. And we have a ton of natural resources to sell. You know, so it's a very special place when you look at it from that perspective.
I don't know if they're friends. Our friend wants to build a wall to Mexico.
Well, yeah, well, you know, listen, I'll say if we're going to build the wall to Mexico, maybe we should build the wall to Canada too. Why we should just be walling ourselves in always. But I mean, I'm joking.
Just barricade yourselves.
Barricade ours. Yeah, right. That's a good idea. Come on, no way. We should not. I think that whole situation with the wall, bro. If it's true that 100,000 people. I heard 100,000 people, I want to say per week, come across the border illegally, maybe per day. Bro, either one of those, that's crazy. So like that needs to stop because like that would be bad for America long term. Not because they're bad people, just because you're not documenting the growth in population and you have to account for that, you know? So, but I do, bro, I hate the argument with that, like that we should not be accepting illegal immigrants because it's America and be America. I hate that argument. That's stupid because it's never been, America is America because it's diverse, you know? And I feel like the direction that hopefully we're headed will be good for markets and good for the situation with the border. Because now Trump announced that he's running. Not that I'm going to vote for Trump. I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet, but I know that I'm definitely going to vote. And it's definitely not going to be for a Democrat unless the Democrats come out with some crazy great candidate. And I'm fine with saying that. And I know some Democrats listening to this are going to turn me off now, but I just hope that they wouldn't, because like in my position as a business owner, I want to be less regulated, less taxed. I want to have freedom to do what I want to do when it comes to masks and all that other shit that we dealt with, right? So if I want those things, that's just not what the Democrats believe right now. Yeah. And you remember I was telling you this before we started recording. The speech Trump gave last night when he announced that he's running, he said, you know, the president of Mexico, he's a socialist, but he's a friend of mine. He's a good man. We'll do business. When does the Democrats ever say that about a Republican? Never. But for him to come out and say that about a socialist, you'd think people would highlight that and be like, hey, that's a good thing that Trump's saying. That's a pop. No, the media never plays anything he does as a positive. So we never see it. So you've got to listen yourself and see. And I really think that like the direction we're going, America is a powerful country. And America could be helping countries, I feel like South Africa, do better with their natural resources. But now we're run by an old man who can't even speak straight. You know, it's just a crazy time.
There's something I want to read to you that's got to do with this as well. But and then I'll get into maybe another question that could be quite good. So I was reading this. This was put on my golf group here in Ballito, South Africa. I play with a lot of older people that are pretty wealthy people. That have made a lot of money in doing what they do. So I love listening to them when I'm on the golf course. Because I got some good, wise words to share with me that someone's who's a lot younger than them. Right. But they said this. They shared this on the golf group. Sorry. The founder of Dubai, Sheikh Rashid, was asked about the future of his country. He replied, "My grandfather rode a camel. My father rode a camel. I ride a Mercedes. My son rides a Land Rover, and my grandson is going to ride a Land Rover. But my great-grandson is going to have to ride a camel again. Why is that?" he was asked. And his reply was, "Hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men, and weak men create difficult times. Many will not understand it, but you have to raise warriors, not parasites.
That's really good. But I mean, like, that's the theme of everything that's going on. So that's why I'm saying the direction just needs to change, and that's why I hope for markets. Stocks are down, indices are down, bonds, the traditional stock and bond portfolio, which is like what my dad does, what a lot of older guys do, right? And then they modify as they get older. That's having the worst year that it's ever had. Markets are not doing good. We need to turn that around. Big tech companies are firing people. We need to turn that around. We need to be hiring people, not firing people. So we're not headed in the right direction. And I think 2023 is going to be rough. I really do. I think we'll probably start using that word recession more and more next year. But on the day trading side, I think it's just going to mean more volatility, more opportunities. Because what we know now, bro, like when yesterday, 2 days ago, when the missiles landed in Poland and then they're from Ukraine, but then they're shooting at Russia, it's all confusing. Markets were moving. Markets get volatile when stuff like that happens. So for whatever you want to say, opinions, this and that, at the end of the day, we're traders. We want to make money. So these uncertain times and crazy events create opportunities for us,
Yeah. I think that's just even more of a reason to be more stuck into your plan instead of your head. During times like this, you don't know whether pairs is going to all of a sudden shoot in 1 hour 200 pips to the upside, like it did on GA yesterday. You don't know that.
Right.
So I made money shorting it yesterday, but it actually rose 250 pips to the upside. So
crazy.
Yeah, and that's just something also on that
beauty
quote.
Of day trading, right?
Exactly. Yeah, just something on that quote as well. I just wanted. He also said, not he said, but it was just a note at the end. Add to that historically, reality is that all great empires, the Persians, the Trojans, Egyptians, and the Greeks, and the Romans, and later the British, all rose and perished within 240 years. America and Canada have now passed that 240-year mark, and the rot is starting to be visible and accelerating. That's what someone commented.
I've heard that. And I understand that. And that's looking back at history and trying to understand what will happen. But also, before that, nobody made it 250 years. So someone's going to do 400 years. Then someone's going to do 700 years. You see what I'm saying? There's always going to be that first.
And look where the world's evolved since those times. There's like technology and everything now as well.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a change. We've quoted Ray Dalio's new book often. He has another book coming too that'll be very similar on a similar topic, more detail. But like he says, bro, we are going through the end of the cycle. It's going to happen now in our lifetime, and there will be a new monetary system that our kids will use. It's going to be crazy, bro. And we're going to live through it. And as day traders, we're going to ride the volatility till the sun comes home, bro. Because now, like I was talking about this new prop firm, these new funding companies, prop firms, they're offering $1 million accounts. You think they're going to offer $3 million eventually? Probably 5 million that you could just buy in and be at 5 million. It's crazy when you think about it like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So we got to be ready. That's why you and me are going to keep making these episodes. That's why we're going to keep coaching people. That's why we're going to keep taking people into the Black Shirt Club and selling courses, because now more and more people are going to need this education. So I want to plug the Black Shirt Club really quick. We've had a lot of success, bro. 89% of the group is more profitable in month 2 than in month 1. We're now in the 3rd month, so we can only look at the last 2 months of statistics. That's pretty impressive, wouldn't you say?
Definitely.
Like you join the group to make money. 89% chance you make money.
Yeah, literally. And also the thing is that just the growth with watching the guys trade. I'm on them every single day. Me and I'm on for London, you're on for New York. I'm on for a little bit of New York as well. But just watching them grow every single day with you in the Black Shirt Club. And also the thing is, as traders, we're always growing together. So they're seeing my growth as well as a trader too in 3 months. You're always changing as a trader. You're never stagnating. So it's cool to see them, but growing so much in leaps and bounds as well.
I think it keeps us sharp, bro. I think working with these guys that are trying to be better, as we get older, I know you're younger than me, but as we get older, Tom's older than me, like being around young guys is the way you stay in, and the way you stay, just like in sports or just like in anything else, you got to stay with the guys that are going to be at the top of the game. So these new guys are going to bring ideas to the table, bro. I can tell you in the future, we'll have people come to ASFX with a strategy. We'll end up working on it together, and it'll be nothing to do with me. But these new kids are going to come up with ideas, I think, in the future. And that's why I want to continue to grow the community and continue to reach people. That's why I was really convinced, like I convinced myself to do TikTok, because I was like, think about all the young kids that don't even know about trading, that are on TikTok, that if they just see one of my videos, we could get them going in the right direction. So I was like, all right, that's a good enough reason to do it. And now we crossed 100K on our first TikTok, you and me, random, right? That one video. Let me pull it up really quick. That one random ass one. It's got on my one account.
Now China's got us in their logbook.
118K. Yeah, it's ripping now. The other one has 30K. We get
118K now.
118. Yeah, it's just going crazy. I wonder why. And it's the one about win rate.
How many likes does it have out of the 118K views?
6,031 and
Jeez.
121 comments.
Jeez. 121 comments.
Wow. Yeah. You're famous, bro. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. My bald head.
All right. So I think we're good, bro. Well, I got another
that's
call
what you
in 9
said.
minutes.
Stick with me and I'll make you famous.
There it is. There it is. We should stop trading and just start selling courses on how to get famous.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Can sell hair products.
It's the hair. Exactly, bro. Yeah. See, I use the hair product on my beard, so yeah, it worked well.
I'll be the brand ambassador.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So listen, everybody, we appreciate you tuning in as always. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll be dropping these videos all the way through to the new year. Hopefully you found some value in today's tips. If you have any requests, if you'd like to see any special guests, always let us know. We appreciate that. James, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. See you in the next one, everybody.
Cheers, guys.